Hello guys, Paula back here for part 3 of the Manila folder. Okay, now remember to have some paper and pencil in case you want to jot something down. Now, I am going to show you today how to cut out the pockets and tucks and so forth. And I'm going to show you how I have completed the one that we worked on together. This is very simple. No stress involved in it. This will be the last part of the video. And I also want you to take, once you make your pockets and so forth, I want you to make a template out of them, and that way in the future you'll have them for other books. This is what I do. People ask me, I've had a couple people ask me, where do you get your templates? And what I usually say is I drew them off, and instead of taking the time to do it again, I keep a template. So you can do the little ruffle at the top or not do the ruffle at the top. If when you get to this portion of the pocket you want it straight, just draw it straight. Okay? Which is what I did. This is a side tuck. You know, you just attach it right here onto your book. This is the belly. No, that's 2 side tucks. I guess I decided I didn't end up using 2 side tucks, but you can. These are the corner pockets, and we'll go over all this. There's the second pocket, and then there's the belly band. Now, I also added 2 1.5 by 1.5 squares for a couple more corners. I hope you guys can see all right. I've got my light. Hold on, I don't want to blind you, but I'm trying to keep my light from glaring. And it doesn't want to cooperate there. Maybe that'll be better if I put some paper or something under it. It's driving me crazy. I don't know why it's doing that. It just wants to glare, but it does affect. I'll put some white paper here. It wants to glare on my new mat is what it amounts to. But I really use this light. So, okay. I'm going to show you how my book ended up. Now, I know I had told you the other day to ink everything. I was giving you homework to put your music sheets on all your tabs, and that they didn't have to be perfect. But believe me, I found mistakes in mine that weren't things that weren't even. And if you remember right, I had mine out of order. But that was all right. It didn't make a difference. I'm using the Lavender collection from By Prima. I'll probably give this as a gift for someone for Christmas or something. I don't know that for sure, but I just took and cut. I don't know if I gave you these measurements or not, so write this down. The front page is all of them, first of all, the height is 6 1/4. So everything will be 6 1/4 on the height, okay? Every page. All right, now, you have different pages that are different widths, but there's only 2 different widths to deal with, okay? So you're going to have some pages that are 4 1/4 wide and some that are 3 3/4 wide. Now, everybody's book will vary a little bit by a little bit less or a little bit more than that. So measure as you go, but just remember the main measurements for this particular book is 4 1/4 by 6 1/4 for some of the pages, and 3 3/4 by 6 1/4 for the rest of the pages. Okay, and you'll know because you'll be able to see, like for instance, these two pages are the same right here. But if you get over here, you can see that this page is shorter and this page is wider. Do you see what I'm saying? I'm going to show you some more. These two are the same. And this is kind of a busy collection, just so you know, to watch. I hope it's not too busy for... Here's two that are the same. And here's two. This one's smaller. This one's bigger. Okay, the back one is smaller. It just depends on how you put yours together. If you were smarter than me and put everything in there completely right, that you won't have any problems. Okay, so I put the cover on, which was this 4 1/4 by 6 1/4. Okay, I did not round corners that attached down by music sheets on the tabs. I only round the top corner here. I didn't round these corners because they were squared off against the binding. Okay, so you'll notice that as you go along, it will make sense to you as you're making it. Okay, and then while we're here, I just took a 2-inch piece of lace I got at Hobby Lobby, and I just glued it here on the front. That's the only place I put glue, was right here. About a 1/2 inch of glue right down the middle. And then I rolled it around, and I did not put glue on the binding. You can if you want, but I wanted a little bit of looseness there. And it will show looseness whenever you open your book. And then I put glue down the back. Okay, I liked the way it looked. Now I'm going to open it and show you how mine ended up looking. See, you've still got this little bit of looseness here. And that's okay, nobody's going to see that. You can glue that if you want. And I could really glue it because this is a kind of a stretchy ribbon. But I just didn't want to. I didn't want to take a chance that after I worked so hard on this thing, you know. Okay, so now I'm going to next page. Page 2 is also 4 1/4 by 6 1/4. And if you notice, I did not round those edges, this edge, only the edge up here. Okay, it's because you want to line it up down here. Over here is where we had our top loading pocket. I did round it right here, and I did round it right here. And then we'll go back through and talk about the pockets. I rounded it here, and I rounded it here. Now on this one, the tab is on the top, so I did not round up here, but I rounded it down here. Ignore this. This is something I've got inside my pocket. Okay, on this one, I did not round except at the top left. On this one, I rounded the top and the bottom on the right. And it just goes on like that. You'll get it as you do it. Like here's one that has 2 straight edges and one round edge down here and a straight edge. Okay, now we're going to go to the pockets. There is no rules about the pockets. If you have certain pockets that you like, use your pockets. If you have certain tags you like, use your tags. I'm going to use some journaling cards that came with this kit. I'm going to use paper that came with this kit. And then I threw a couple other little things in there. I used a little bit of white lace. I didn't want to over embellish this because it's a busy paper. Okay, so here is page 2 and 3. I made a pocket right here, straight edge pocket. I added a ribbon across here. Okay, and then I took one of the journaling cards. I added tea stain paper onto the back, inked it, and I made it very simple because whoever gets this will not want anything difficult because the person I'm thinking about has never had one. Okay, if you want to put more journaling type paper inside yours, you can. I was kind of doing mine up so that they could have a choice of using it for a little album or a journaling book. So you could put coffee stain paper on these, okay? And then just decorate however you want with, just let your pockets be the whatever. Do you see what I'm saying? You can put whatever paper on here you want. I did not use coffee stain paper on anything except my journaling cards and my tags, and because I want this person to be able to put photographs on here. And just a little hint, if you don't know, you can't make an album or tell people to put pictures in a book if it has coffee stain or tea stain, Kool-Aid stain. Any of those kind of things are not acid free. Scrapbook paper is. Okay, in other words, it will just eat their pictures up over time and they'll crumble. And scrapbook paper is made to help the picture live longer. Okay, so that's why I did that. And I will give them some paper to put on here. Tea stain paper if they choose to do so. Okay, so I'm going to take these things out of the pocket so you can see what I did. Now, this is where we go in and we work on the side pockets. Now, I drew my side pockets onto my paper like this so that I could keep them. And I just took a ruler and made sure this side and this side were straight, and then just joined them here. And then I went back and added these little fold lines. This would be your score line. I made one for the right side of the book, made one for the left side of the book. And I wrote on here left and right, cut one, cut one. You know, that's how I did these pockets. You do score them and fold them under, then you ink them, okay? And this is how they look if you put them on the same page. I wanted them on the same page because this was the least busy page I had. And I thought, you know, they're both out of 2 different papers. But anyway, journaling card here with tea stain paper. And I just slid it up into my pocket. Here is another journaling page with tea stain paper. Just slid it up into the pocket. And I wanted to add another tag that just said hello. So I just took a long piece of paper and glued this on, punched a hole and put a little bit of white velvet in there, and that way they can have more. Okay, now we missed a top loading. Let's go back and grab this top loading pocket. I just put a tag in my top loading pockets. I made a longer tag. You can decide how long you want your tag to be. I just cut some of the paper. And the back of this paper had lines, so I didn't add coffee stain paper on it. And I just tied some, the little ribbon on here. And I had a little die cut that was a circle, and I inked it and stuck it on there just to give it a little bit of design. Now, I didn't want to overload the pockets because this is already thick. And I didn't, you know, want it to be any more chunky than necessary. Now we're at the side loading pockets, which I have to be honest, I'm not super crazy about how the design comes out and the side pockets work. I think they really add a lot of chunkiness to it. See, and I'll tell you too, when you ink, you don't ink down inside, you can see. See that? So make sure you ink up inside where your side pockets will be. I just did a trifold with some of the journaling, a journaling card that on the front that says "You are amazing." Remember that. And then I just added tea stain paper. And then on the back I added blessed. And then on the other side, all tea stain papers. And so I just made that to stick here in the pocket. Now you can let it stick out like that, which I think I like better than the other way. It doesn't make it quite as chunky. Okay, but it will hold it open and you can see down inside. So there you go. That was one of my mistakes. Okay, now we're going on. I didn't put anything on this page, but I did do one of the side bands right here on the inside. You can see it lifts up right there. And I just cut out something shaped like it's just a square with circle corners, and I folded it in half and I put tea stain paper inside. So it kind of looks like like a little important document. And I put that in the back. Okay, in the up pocket here, I made another tag. I just made it out of some of the paper, added tea stain paper on the back, added that same white velvet, and but you can go crazy decorating this. Okay, first of all, you can really decorate it. And another thing, if you didn't want to add papers to yours, if you didn't want to make it like into a little album or whatever, you could just use your manila folder and maybe ink the edges and let that be the journaling space, and then add your color with your pockets. I liked covering it, but that's just me. All right, moving on, we have a belly band here, which did interfere with my little punch out up here. Just be aware of that you might want to put it on an area that doesn't interfere with it, because nothing would punch it. Nothing. I had to get a pair of scissors. It's kind of mangled looking. And I just put a big piece of journaling paper on there. See, because you really can't see my butterflies because all this stuff is covering my butterflies up. So, it'll be fun for the person that plays with it. And that's what matters. Okay, on this side, take this out. I did do a square 1.5 by 1.5 inch little square pocket over here. And I was just going to round it right here. But then I realized that was around a corner, so I went ahead and rounded on that corner too. And it really, it's just a extra little tuck area. And I just took a little die cut shape of perfume, put on there on a plain ticket. And then this I just had. It doesn't go with it. It goes with some other, can't remember the name of this one now. It's been too long. Okay, in this side pocket, I did like a fold out. Let me show you. I put this little circle up here to hold it up. And then I did journaling paper at the top. And down here, oh, I forgot to make my little tag. I'll have to go back and do that. And down here, I did a little pocket for a tag. So I'll go back and put a tag in there. But, and then it just folds down and hooks under that circle. And you can put it in either way, this way or the other way. And I like it like this. I can tell it just feels thinner by doing it that way. Okay, so we're flipping over to our next page. I left a blank page. Here's another journaling pocket with a journaling card inside. And now when we make these pockets, I just ran lace across here instead of doing the scallop. My next one, I'm going to do the scallop on my design team one. So you can watch for that later, but it's kind of confusing. So you can do it straight. If you do, I would cut it up just a little bit, not much. Okay, because you can see here it's the same whenever you do the scallop, when you cut the scallop. But you got to start with a little bit of extra paper if you're going to do it the other way. Now here's a tag up here. Has some lace across it. And then here's your last page. I added another corner tuck. And I forgot to put ribbon here. It was late when I did this last night. So I'll go back and do that too. And there you go. And then there's the back. I hope you guys had fun doing this. So just remember, if you have any questions, you can talk to me. But all of these little things are standard things that you do in journals. If you have a certain way you do your pockets, your side tucks, do them that way. And the same thing with side tucks and belly bands and little pockets. I like to use the tabs on my pockets. You know, I don't always, but I like to, because it does give you more room in your pocket when you do that. So draw them off, write on here what they're for, put them along with your pattern or whatever, paper clip them together, and you'll have it for the future. We may have to hunt for this video, go back and hunt for this video to remember how to do it, but we have it if we want to. Okay, so I did do a flip through of the winter journal, and that should be the next thing that airs. And then I'll put it in my Etsy shop. Let me see. I am going to finish my design team, which is going to be the same book project, which I'll be finishing that today, and I'll do a video on it. And it will not be listed in part 1, 2, 3, because, you know, I recorded this yesterday, okay? I recorded this part yesterday, and I had to delete it because I had only had 2 hours sleep. And I was all over the place. All over the place. So I'm like, I am not airing that. So you would have had it. You would have had this one this morning. But I was not quite awake. And so I hope you had fun doing this. We conquered it. To whoever doesn't believe we could conquer it, we did, didn't we? And it was fun. It was different. And I may go back later and just for myself and make all of this as journaling paper. So you have that choice. And where I have some of these blank ones, I might do that as blank and some with, you know, print. So, all right, guys. I hope you enjoyed today's video. If you did, please give me a thumbs up. That's how YouTube keeps track of how well I'm doing. And if you haven't subscribed, please subscribe and join us with all the fun we have. And we're trying to reach 1,000 subscribers so I can give away something free. And so help me work on that if you would. If you have any questions, leave a comment below. If it has to do with measurements, please go back and just kind of look at the measurements, because I'll be tossing those, and it's going to be the same as what the video says. All right. We'll see you next time. Bye.